Well, over 1,000 have made the journey from North Wales. Remember, just one automatic promotion slot in the National League, and both these sides have their eye on it. No Elliot Durrell for Macclesfield today. He's suspended. George Pilkington misses out with a back problem. Into central defence comes Kieran Kennedy, who was with both Leicester and Manchester City as a youngster. Also recalled to the side is top scorer Scott Wilson. There are 5 former Macclesfield players in the Wrexham squad. 3 of them start, including centre-forward Scott Boden and Chris Holroyd. The other is James Jennings, who began his career at Moss Rose. Sam Wedgbury misses out with a calf injury. Jack McCreth drops to the bench. In come former England under-20 international James Hurst and the club's longest-serving current player, Mark Carrington. This is a match that brings together 2 contrasting styles. Macclesfield, with a well-earned reputation for playing some of the most attractive football in the National League. Wrexham, a team more than happy to grind out a Football League promotion. Not always pretty, but it's proving very effective. They've won 1-0 7 times in the National League, 4 of them away from home. But no clubs have won more games in total in the National League this season than Macclesfield and Wrexham, 12 victories each. The same as leaders Sutton. 1 point separates that top 3. The chance for one of these teams, though, Adam Virgo, to go top of the table.
Oh, it's going to be massive today. As Dean Sorden said pre-match, this is a really, really big game for both sides in terms of that psychology of winning a game against your rivals. It's also so important not to lose points in and around you as well.
Whittaker gets it wide here to Lloyd, who swings in the early cross, and it was causing all sorts of problems there for Dunn. An early scare at the back for Wrexham. Boden with the chest down here to Holroyd, the 2 centre-forwards looking to combine here for Wrexham. It's a good open contest at Moss Rose.
Yeah, been a great start.
That's a nice ball by Marsh, and Wilson's onside. What an opportunity to make it 1-0, and he does! Macclesfield's top scorer back in the side today, and registers his 8th of the season in the National League. Scott Wilson on target, the Siltman 1-0 up.
Great finish from him. When you have time to do this, you think about it more, but what you don't do is what Manny Smith does here. You've got to stay with the run. You can't afford to play offside, virtually on the halfway line. Good link-up play, Whittaker into Marsh, and all of a sudden you're through on goal. It's a brilliant finish, it really is. From a counter-attacking option there for Wrexham, but you can't afford to play offside on the halfway line like that. You're always scrambling to get back, and when you're in that position, you need a cool head, and he hits it brilliant into the corner.
Very snowy Cheshire right now. Beautiful part of the country.
Yeah, lovely.
Intercepted here by Whittaker. Flicked on by Marsh. I guess from the neutral perspective, Adam, the early goal for Macclesfield is probably exactly what this game needed, because it means Wrexham have got to have a bit of a go.
Well, I mentioned just that plan B of what Wrexham and Dean Keator's side have to do, but so many times you see that teams are on top in terms of possession and chances, but we've seen with Wrexham, when they've been on top of games, haven't really found an alternative to get a goal when they are on top. And Macclesfield have done that so far, started into the game really, really well. And when you get a good crunching game like this, an early goal sets the game up brilliantly. 13 clean sheets for Wrexham this season, an astonishing record, but they've got defending to do here with Wilson. They're queuing up in the middle, it was in towards Marsh. Perhaps chose the wrong option. Well, again, you're in this position here, you know, you're talking about his goal when he had a lot of time to think about it. It's always going to be very difficult because he was always trying to use his right foot. He needed to use his left foot there.
Jennings with the cross. Misjudged by Holroyd. And it's quickly won back, and Hurst with the shot. And it's just spilt by Jalal, who recovered well. First significant save, really, he's had to make.
Well, it was an awkward one for him, especially with the conditions for goalkeepers. It's not going to be easy today. Hurst on the edge of the box there, just muscles off there. Marsh gets there before Whittaker. It's just the bobbles into him. Makes it very difficult for a goalkeeper. Good soft hands as well.
Wilson, the goal scorer. Burgess played it first time. Marsh to Wilson. Good build-up play here by Macclesfield. Several waiting in the middle. And Burgess! And a good save! And over it goes from Whitehead. What a chance to make it two. It should be two.
Well, it was Kevin Roberts on the line here. How important will this block mean for Wrexham to get something out of this game? And this has been the big difference. As I was saying in the final third, that little touch off there, they're keeping it alive. I mean, that is brilliant defending. Should have got the rebound there. Danny Whitehead, when it came to him, you got time to think about it. Right technique, side foot. Just needed to get his head over the ball a little bit more.
Little over 10 minutes of the first half remaining. In it went first time from Kelly. Jalal came a long way to punch that. Roberts. Oh, and it's been through here, but quickly out was Jalal. Kelly's ball cleared by Whittaker. Smith still forward and still trying to make a nuisance of himself, and it was played against Jalal. It stayed in play with Rutherford. That was an easy attack. How good Wrexham's defence is, quite rightly the best in the National League, but Macclesfield ain't bad either, and they've been showing it.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, we have a red.
Rutherford. And Holroyd! Not too far away.
Again, keeping the ball in that final third, the little gives and goes. You mentioned it there, Rutherford and Holroyd second half for me have to do a lot better. Get into the game a lot more. Certainly a half attempt there from the front man. Just haven't done enough of that in the first half so far.
And no chances taken by Kieran Kennedy. Dean Keats not allowed any contact with his coaching staff during the game, but he is able to go into the dressing room at half-time, where he'll have quite a bit of talking to do, I should imagine.
Listen, they've stayed in the game, and even though they haven't had a lot of the possession, haven't really had most of the chances, but the experience that they've got here, they know they need to do better second half. I'm sure a few of the senior players will have words as well.
Jennings. And Holroyd couldn't quite get to it. That was a positive end to the first half from Wrexham. But it's Macclesfield who are in front at half-time. Both these sides able to point to progress on last season. Macclesfield 4 points up on the same stage of the previous campaign, but Wrexham's improvement really is quite remarkable. Dean Keats' side 13 points better off. It's been quite the turnaround at the racecourse, and they need another one here, Adam Berger.
Well, they do need a massive performance second half, even if you just come away with the point. So don't get the initiative back to Macclesfield, and I mentioned it before, the cluster of games in and around you can't afford to be given away. Maybe 6 points was they lost the opening game of the season to them as well, so massive second half for Wrexham.
Whitehead gets it wide here to the goal scorer, Wilson. And Lloyd's arriving at the back post, and it went all the way through. Carrington with the header here for Wrexham. Oh, that's a nice ball. And Rutherford has Holroyd waiting in the middle, but they crossed. Oh, and Holroyd almost made the most of the mistake, cleared by Lowe. And then it was well off target. He's got away with one there, and he knows
this. Again, you just want that bit of quality in that final third. He plays him onside. You see what he's trying to do. He wants that ball across, and he gets it horribly wrong, but say fair play to him. Got away with it in the end. Just that reaction. He made the mistake. What did he do? Rectified it very, very well.
Wrexham fans making themselves heard. Up comes Pearson. Deep delivery from Rutherford, and Smith was trying to leap above everybody there. Hurst tangling there with Kennedy.
And this was a contentious decision here. It was Kennedy on. Hurst certainly ran across him. In my opinion, Adam, that's a penalty. The fact that he's not giving it, I don't know why. A lot of period of play that John Askey's side have had. They've managed to keep the ball well, managed to get them out.
Well, Roberts was involved there. And the substitute keeper involved as well. What's the referee going to do here? He certainly wants to have a word at the very least. Just making sure that he gets exactly what happened there from the fourth official, who is Martin Woods. And Macclesfield's substitute goalkeeper here being shown a yellow card. Well, you rarely see this, but Sam Ramsbottom, who's only had 2 league games this season, one of those as a sub, is shown a yellow card. This is what it was all over.
Yeah, not too often you see that.
Our apologies if you have heard any bad language in the last few minutes. In it goes again, and it was Smith trying to bring it down, and now it's Hurst. Just look at how many players are inside the box, but it's onto the top of the netting. Pearson, who so often leads by example, the Wrexham captain, and he's brought Jennings into the game here. They're appealing for handball. Referee not interested. It was Hodgkiss involved for Macclesfield.
See where the referee's positioning is here. Again, you're just looking at the quality delivery, not being the first man. And that's a penalty.
Burgess, Wilson, he's got Marsh waiting in the middle. Jennings for Wrexham. And a slip by the former Macclesfield player, Holroyd. Marsh. Burgess. Oh, what a hit! Whittaker. How close was that to a second? Whitehead. Hodgkiss. Marsh. Now Macclesfield are having a right go. Up against Jennings. Marsh. And Burgess! Oh, Lloyd was looking in at the back post. Burgess involved again.
Especially with the height and quality that they've got in there. Not being the first man enough, I've hit it too long as well. Crucial stage of the game now.
It's Rutherford's delivery. And Pearson was there. Macclesfield just about do enough to get it clear, but it's going to be a corner.
Yeah, better delivery there. Just saw Boden put off to the far post as well, who was unmarked.
Can they keep out the Red Dragons in the snow here, Macclesfield? And Pearson was forward again. It wasn't a bad header at all, that. He's blocked the clearance as well, Pearson, the centre-half. Another cross tossed into the box, and the header's a brilliant one, and it's in! It's Boden with the equaliser for Wrexham. The former Macclesfield man planted that one into the back of the net. And it's game on at Moss Rose.
Yeah, great header. Great all-round play from Wrexham. Second half, they've really kept the pressure on. Just win those second balls. You don't allow Macclesfield any time to squeeze up. So many times, second phases of play, you get your goal. And there's a prime example. And he just pulls off Whittaker. And all of a sudden, Kennedy sees it, but can't quite get there to rectify it. Great header, nothing Jalal could have done there. But the first bit of quality they've hit in, they've got a goal from it. What an interesting final stage of the games we got now, Adam.
Well, there's no lack of attacking threat on the pitch for Wrexham. Well, as a defender, this must be a nightmare with the snow blowing into your face.
It's certainly not easy for... Let's put it under the goalie.
Will this corner put Jalal under pressure in that Macclesfield goal? It's flicked on, and it was only just wide, that from Jennings.
Well, they showed good character second half, Wrexham, to really come back into this game against a very good side.
Whittaker. Marsh. Oh, it's a good run by Wilson! It's in! in front, and it's Scott Wilson again. How their top scorer has turned up today against the run of play. But it's Macclesfield back in front.
There's nothing more frustrating when you've got yourself back into the game and you've kept the front two quiet in the second half. But I tell you what, this is an unbelievable through ball. Borderline, isn't it? They haven't really linked up well in this second half, but when you needed it, it's a great through ball, and it's a great finish from him. Hits it first time. That's the difference. When you threw on goal there, two finishes virtually the same. This time he took it early. I didn't see that goal coming, I have to be honest.
Completely against the run of play, but see if Macclesfield can. And what an understanding between Wilson and Marsh.
In the space of a couple of minutes, they're 2-1 down.
Whitehead, wide here to Whittaker. Here's Whitehead again. He drives in the shot. Oh, it's been spilled, and it's a hat-trick! Scott Wilson again. He can't stop scoring. And Macclesfield are surely now heading to the top of the National League. A big question mark maybe over the goalkeeper Chris Dunn in very difficult conditions. But what a day it's been for Scott Wilson.
That's a great hat-trick. The minute this shot comes on the edge of the box here, you've got to go on the rebound. You look at the conditions, it's very difficult for the goalkeeper. Done there, it's a horrible one just in front of him. And when the goalkeeper spills it, you need the defenders to react first before Wilson does. He's on the front foot just before the ball is struck there. He knows what's going to happen. He feels that he could get a rebound. He does. Gets himself a goal. Certainly enjoyed that one.
Well, just going to have a break in play while we find the lines back. Not in too much of a rush, but
by the time he's finished, he'd have to do it again.
Well, we're hoping this interruption doesn't go on too long. I'm sure the players are keen to keep their momentum, especially the home side.
So into the 8 minutes we go at the end of the game. Macclesfield on the verge of the victory that will, for the time being at least, take them top of the table. That's nicely done, Fitzpatrick! Oh, what an unlikely goal scorer! It's his first since February of 2015, and it completes what has been a quite brilliant day for Macclesfield.
Well, David Fitzpatrick will take all the credit, but it's the vision of Danny Whittaker that sees this goal. He's the only one who sees this. There is a massive gap on the edge of the box. He picks him out brilliantly. Fitzpatrick on the front foot, slots it into the corner, and you said that Wrexham's heads had gone. They've just completely capitulated after conceding that second goal. But brilliant vision for Danny Whittaker.
Pearson, the final whistle can't come soon enough now for Wrexham. A freezing cold day in Cheshire, and on the end of a heavy defeat. Macclesfield go top. A hat-trick for Scott Wilson. All 3 points for the Silkmen. A big win over a promotion rival. Wrexham beaten home and away by the Silkmen for a second season running. Brilliant day for John Askey, who must be growing in belief that his team really can genuinely challenge for the National League title this season.